Greetings, trustees. I'm Jaime Libby, Chief of Staff to the President and the Board of Trustees at Dominican University of California. I have the pleasure of coordinating and supporting the board's efforts and engagement at Dominican. Those efforts are really intertwined with my support for President Pitchford, including the strategic management of her calendar and her budgets, shepherding critical conversations between administrators and the president, with trustees, with leaders from inside and outside higher education, preparing presidential communications, and ensuring that we keep in everything we do institutional priorities front and center, and that we're making the best use of everyone's time and energy in service of our mission. I am myself a Dominican alum. I earned both my master's and my bachelor's here, and I've been on the staff about 18 years, the last 10 working directly with President Pitchford, including when she was vice president for academic affairs. I love my work and the students we serve. It continues to be a pleasure working on Nicola's team and with this terrific board. In this really brief video, I simply want to introduce myself and let you know that I'm available always for your questions and feedback. The best way to reach me immediately is by calling the main line. That's 415-485-3200. Because if I'm not at my desk, it's forwarded to my cell, or else Trisha Lacey on our team can track me down if it's urgent. A couple logistical items that might be useful to know about Dominican's board. It's currently the board's practice to hold 4 business meetings per year, 2 in fall and 2 in spring, plus a retreat, which is generally over 2 days in mid-February. Most board meetings are in person, but our March meeting is usually brief and held by Zoom. In general, the committees meet by Zoom. There are 7 committees of the board, including the executive committee, which comprises the board's officers, the president, and the committee chairs. The other committees are academic and student affairs, advancement, audit, campus planning and development, finance and investments, and governance. The committees are the workforces of the board, and nearly all actions taken by the full board are done so upon the recommendation of a committee. It's unusual, but the executive committee may act on behalf of the full board in emergency situations. If we have an urgent matter, but enough time to convene the full board, we'll do that. We use the platform AGB Onboard to securely share materials. There are lots of training videos in the portal if you'd like to get more familiar with the features of the system and how to navigate Onboard. AGB is the Association of Governing Boards, a national organization and a really stellar resource for higher education boards and their staff. So we often reference their research and best practices. In fact, you'll find some of their materials in this new trustee orientation. Through Onboard, you also have access to an integrated calendar, directory, archived minutes, and a limited AGB resource library. As fiduciaries, each of you should be able to lay eyes on historical board minutes, committee agendas, and presentations, anything you need to feel fully informed. So if you can't discover something that you're seeking in Onboard, please do contact me directly. It goes without saying that the contents of Onboard are strictly confidential. It's a good idea to assume that you'll receive a meeting book around a week in advance of any committee or board meeting. So you might just plan on budgeting some time to digest that document and get any questions you have answered ahead of the meeting. Sometimes these board books are lengthy, but rarely more than 75 pages. To minimize exposition at board meetings and keep that agenda clipping along, I encourage you to share questions you have about the contents of the meeting book with the board chair or appropriate committee chair before the meeting. That will bolster your confidence and your comfort with the subject matter, and it'll tee up you and your trustee peers for a more efficient meeting every time passing. I'll also note that Dominican is a self-perpetuating board, and as such, we're always keen to consider new, strong board recruits. The first step, if you have someone in mind, is to send me their name and explain why you believe they may be an asset to Dominican. I'll have the advancement office prepare a confidential briefing about the person in question, and then the governance committee will discuss the prospect in the context of the board's needs and the skills that we're seeking, expertise, connections that the prospect can bring, that kind of thing. Finally, I'll just say a few words about our trustee mentor program. Every new trustee upon joining the board is paired with an experienced trustee mentor. This is a largely unstructured program, and you really can just make of it what you like. Your mentor, however, is ready to chat offline or answer questions as needed. It's helpful to have a trusted source from the start to help you navigate the board's practices and get you up to speed quickly so that you hit the ground running and don't feel like you have a long onboarding period of adjustment and transition. We want you feeling like you are part of the board from day one. For your first year on the board, I'll seek to sit you and your mentor together at board meetings. About these matters or anything else, I hope you will feel free to reach out to me. I wish you a terrific trustee experience. And again, thank you very much for your service to the meeting.